Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something really personal, something that still stings a bit when I look back. It is about all the financial regrets I carry, especially from my early 20s. I know many of you are in a similar boat, just starting out, full of dreams, maybe a little too eager to make a quick buck. I was exactly there, and I made a lot of mistakes. Big mistakes. Mistakes that cost me years of savings and a fair bit of peace of mind. But looking back now, these failures, these heartbreaks, they were my most expensive yet most valuable lessons, and I want to share those with you today. You see, I grew up in a pretty average family. Money was always a topic, but never really discussed in terms of smart investing or long-term financial planning. It was more about saving what you could and making ends meet. So when I hit my 20s, like many of you, I saw all these headlines, these stories of people getting rich overnight. And honestly, I wanted a piece of that action. I wanted to fast-track my way to financial freedom. I was young, ambitious, and frankly, a bit naive. I thought I had to take big risks to get big rewards. That is where it all started to go wrong. My first major blunder was diving headfirst into short-term speculation. I heard whispers, saw trends, read some online forums, and convinced myself I could outsmart the market. I did not understand things like market cycles, fundamental analysis, or risk management. All I saw were flashing green numbers and the promise of quick gains. I would chase popular stocks, jump on fleeting trends, and always buy at the peak. And then, I would panic sell at the first sign of a dip. This cycle, this chase of high highs and deep lows became a pattern. Each time I was convinced this was the one, the investment that would make me rich. Each time I ended up losing more. It was like I was addicted to the thrill, even when the outcome was consistently negative. I remember one particular stock. Everyone was talking about it. It was skyrocketing. I put a significant chunk of my savings into it, watching it climb for a few days, feeling like a genius. Then, the inevitable crash, I lost almost half of what I put in, practically overnight. It was a punch to the gut, a truly painful experience. But even then, I did not fully learn my lesson. I just found another hot stock to chase. Then there were the scams. Oh, the scams. When you are desperate for quick money, your judgment gets clouded. I fell for a few too many guaranteed high-return schemes. These were usually presented by charismatic individuals, often online, promising unbelievable returns with minimal effort. They preyed on my desire to get rich without really understanding what I was getting into. One scheme in particular involved some sort of exclusive trading group. They showed flashy screenshots of huge profits and promised to teach me their secret strategy. I paid a hefty fee to join and then watched as my initial investment slowly dwindled away, along with the experts' advice. The final blow was when the whole operation vanished, leaving me with nothing but an empty bank account and a profound sense of foolishness. It was not just the money, it was the feeling of being exploited, of having my hopes manipulated. That was a hard pill to swallow. Another big one for me was heavy reliance on borrowed money for investments. I thought if I could leverage my positions, I could amplify my gains. The problem was, I did not understand the amplified risks. I took out loans, put money on credit cards, all to pour into these volatile investments. When the market moved against me, which it often did, the losses were not just from my own capital, but also from money I did not truly have. The interest payments alone started to eat into my already dwindling funds. I was in a constant state of anxiety, checking my portfolio every few minutes, barely sleeping, the fear of margin calls, the fear of losing everything, and then some. That is a kind of stress I would not wish on anyone. It taught me a brutal lesson about responsible leverage, or rather, the lack thereof. I learned that investment should only ever be with money you are absolutely prepared to lose. Money that does not impact your basic needs or incur debt. And emotional trading. Oh, how that destroyed me. I would see a stock go up, feel the euphoria, and buy more, convinced it would keep climbing forever. Then it would drop a little, and I would panic, selling everything at a loss, convinced the sky was falling. There was no strategy, no discipline, just pure, unadulterated emotion driving my decisions. This is probably one of the most common pitfalls for new investors, and I was a poster child for it. I let fear and greed dictate every move. Looking back, I can see how irrational I was. Every minor market fluctuation felt like a personal attack or a massive opportunity. I never had a clear entry or exit strategy. It was all impulse, all reaction. This kind of trading is not investing, it is gambling, and I was a terrible gambler. These were not isolated incidents. These were years of consistent, self-sabotaging behavior. I lost a significant portion of my hard-earned savings, the money I had set aside for my future, for my dreams. It was a tough period, filled with regret, self-blame, and a lot of sleepless nights. There was a point where I felt completely defeated, like I was just not cut out for this finance thing, that I was destined to struggle. But after hitting rock bottom, after feeling the profound pain of these losses, something clicked. I realized I could not keep doing this. I could not keep chasing fantasies and ignoring reality. I had to change. I started reading, really reading, about proper financial planning, about long-term investing, about risk management, about financial history. I devoured books, articles, legitimate courses. I started to understand concepts like diversification, asset allocation, compound interest. I learned about the importance of an emergency fund, about living within your means, about not putting all your eggs in one basket. It was not a quick fix. It was a slow, deliberate process of unlearning bad habits and building new, healthier ones. I stopped looking for the next big thing and started focusing on solid, established principles. I shifted from trying to get rich quick to building wealth slowly and steadily. I embraced the idea that investing is a marathon, not a sprint. I started with low-cost index funds, diversified across different sectors and geographies. I automated my savings and investments, taking the emotion out of it. I focused on consistency over speculation. Now, I am in a completely different place. I am not trying to be a millionaire overnight. I am building a secure financial future, one responsible decision at a time. I am sharing my story, not as a guru, not as someone who has all the answers, but as someone who has been through the fire and wants to help others avoid getting burned. My journey has been messy, expensive, and sometimes embarrassing, but it has made me who I am today. It has given me a perspective that I believe is valuable, especially for young people just starting their financial lives. So if you are out there feeling the pressure to get rich fast, seeing all these perfect lives online, please take a breath. Do not make the same mistakes I did. Do not chase the hype. Do not fall for scams. Do not gamble with your future. Focus on the fundamentals. Educate yourself. Build a strong financial foundation. It might not be as glamorous as the get-rich, quick stories, but it is real. It is sustainable, and it will give you true peace of mind. Here is the thing. We all make mistakes. It is part of life. But what defines us is how we learn from those mistakes. For years, I held on to these regrets, letting them weigh me down. I would constantly think, what if I had done this differently? Or if only I had known that back then. This kind of thinking is a trap. It keeps you stuck in the past, unable to move forward. The past is gone. You cannot change it. The only thing you can change is today and how you approach your future. So my first piece of advice, and this is a big one, is to acknowledge your past mistakes without dwelling on them. Accept that they happened. It sucked. It hurt. But it is over. You cannot go back and uninvest in that bad stock or avoid that scam. What you can do, what you must do, is take the lessons learned and apply them to your present and future decisions. This is not about forgetting, it is about transforming regret into wisdom. It is about using those painful experiences as fuel for better choices. Going forward. Second, start small and start smart. Do not feel like you need to jump into complex investments right away. For many young people, the best investment is often in themselves, their education, their skills, or simply building a solid emergency fund. Before you even think about stocks or crypto, make sure you have a financial cushion, 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up, easily accessible. This is your financial safety net. It gives you peace of mind and prevents you from making rash decisions when unexpected expenses pop up. Once that is in place, consider low-cost, diversified investment options. Index funds, for example, are a great way to get broad market exposure without having to pick individual stocks. They are simple, effective, and historically have provided solid returns over the long term. Do not let anyone tell you that you need to be a financial genius to start investing. You just need to be consistent and patient. Third, question everything, especially anything that promises incredibly high returns with little to no risk. If it sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. There are countless individuals and schemes out there designed to take advantage of people who are desperate for quick money. Learn to identify red flags. Be skeptical. Do your own research. Do not just rely on what someone tells you online or what your friend of a friend is doing. Understand what you are investing in, why you are investing in it, and what the potential risks are. This applies to everything, from stock tips to online courses to crypto projects. Financial literacy is your best defense against predatory practices. Always ask, what am I really getting into here? And is this truly sustainable? Fourth, embrace slow and steady progress. This is probably the hardest lesson for many, myself included. We live in a world of instant gratification where everyone wants everything yesterday. But building wealth, real wealth, takes time. It is a marathon, not a sprint. It is about consistency, discipline, and patience. It is about making good financial choices day in and day out over many years. It is not about hitting a lottery ticket or timing the market perfectly. It is about compounding returns, about letting your money work for you over decades. The earlier you start, and the more consistently you contribute, the more powerful this effect becomes. Do not get discouraged if you do not see massive gains overnight. The true magic happens over the long term. Fifth, build a community of like-minded individuals, but choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who have a sensible approach to finances, who talk about saving, investing, and responsible spending, not just about quick wins or flashy purchases. Be wary of echo chambers where everyone is hyping up the same risky assets. Seek out diverse perspectives, listen to different viewpoints, and always cross-reference information. Learning from others is valuable, but blind imitation is dangerous. I have learned a lot from other content creators and financial educators, but I always make sure their advice aligns with proven principles and my own financial goals. Sixth, understand that financial education is an ongoing process. The world of finance is constantly evolving. New investment vehicles, new technologies, new risks emerge all the time. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. So commit to continuous learning, read books, listen to podcasts, follow reputable financial news sources. Stay informed, but do not get overwhelmed. Focus on foundational principles that tend to remain true across different market conditions. The more you learn, the more confident and capable you will become in managing your own money. Seventh, and perhaps most importantly, do not let past failures define your future. It is so easy to let regret paralyze you, to convince yourself that you are not good enough or that you are doomed to repeat your mistakes. That is simply not true. Every single day is a new opportunity to make better choices, to start fresh. Your past experiences, no matter how painful, are valuable teachers. They have equipped you with hard-won wisdom that many others do not have. Use that wisdom. Do not let fear hold you back from taking calculated, informed steps forward. I spent too many years letting my past losses dictate my present inaction. I am telling you, break free from that. So for all of you in your 20s, or any age really, who are feeling the pressure, who are tempted by the allure of quick riches, please learn from my journey. It is okay to start small. It is okay to make mistakes. As long as you learn from them, it is okay to be cautious. In fact, it is smart to be cautious. Your financial future is too important to leave to chance or to reckless decisions. Build a plan, stick to it, and be patient. The best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time is right now. Do not procrastinate. Do not let fear win. Start building the financial future you truly deserve. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. These are just my personal experiences and the lessons I have learned. Always consult with a qualified professional for personalized advice. But I hope my story, my pain, can serve as a cautionary tale and a guide for you. My goal is to share these insights so that you can avoid the same hard knocks. I want to empower you with the knowledge I wish I had when I was starting out. I believe in each of you, and I believe you can build a strong, secure financial future. It just takes a little bit of learning, a lot of discipline, and the courage to avoid the easy, but ultimately destructive, paths. Remember, true wealth is not just about the money you accumulate. It is about the peace of mind, the freedom, and the security that comes with responsible financial management. It is about building a life where you are not constantly worried about the next bill or the next market crash.